Is this the end? Rasmus Højlund's Manchester United future hangs in the balance. Remember when Manchester United fans were buzzing about their new young striker? It was summer 2023, and Rasmus Højlund had just arrived at Old Trafford with a massive price tag and even bigger expectations. Fast forward to today, and the Danish forward finds himself at a crossroads that could define his entire career. The question on every United fan's mind right now is simple: will Højlund still be wearing the red shirt next season? The answer might surprise you. The numbers don't lie. Let's talk facts first. When Erik ten Hag was in charge at United, Højlund was a different player. In 51 games under the Dutch manager, he found the back of the net 18 times across all competitions. That's not world-class, but it's decent for a young striker finding his feet in the Premier League. But here's where things get interesting. Since Ruben Amorim took over, Højlund has managed just 8 goals in 40 games. That's a massive drop in output, and for a club like Manchester United, those numbers simply aren't good enough. What happened? Did the players suddenly forget how to score? Or is there something deeper going on here? The truth is probably somewhere in between. Amorim's system is different from Ten Hag's approach. The Portuguese manager has been trying to implement his 3-4-3 formation, and it seems like Højlund is struggling to adapt. When you're not getting service or playing in a system that doesn't suit your strengths, scoring becomes much harder. 7 clubs want him, but why? Despite his poor form this season, Højlund is still attracting serious interest from across Europe. 7 clubs are reportedly keeping tabs on the 22-year-old, and that tells us something important about how the football world sees his potential. The Italian giants are leading the charge. Inter Milan, Napoli, Juventus, and AC Milan have all shown interest. But here's the catch: Højlund doesn't want to be a backup player. He wants regular first-team football, and that could be a problem at some of these clubs. Think about it. At Inter Milan, he'd be competing with their established forwards. At Napoli, the same story. Højlund knows his next move needs to be the right one, and sitting on the bench won't help his development. The German interest is particularly fascinating. RB Leipzig could need a replacement if Benjamin Sesko moves on, and they have a track record of developing young talent. Eintracht Frankfurt are also in the mix, offering another Bundesliga option. But the most intriguing possibility? A reunion with Erik ten Hag at Bayer Leverkusen. The Ten Hag connection? Could history repeat itself? Erik ten Hag recently took over at Bayer Leverkusen, and transfer expert Graham Bailey suggests we should keep an eye on this connection. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. Ten Hag knows Højlund well. He signed him for United, worked with him for over a year, and got the best out of him. The Dutch manager understood how to use the young striker's pace, movement, and finishing ability. Would Leverkusen be a good fit for Højlund? Absolutely. They play attractive football, develop young players, and compete in the Champions League. For a 22-year-old looking to rebuild his confidence and career, it could be the perfect stepping stone. The family connection to Germany adds another layer to this story. Both of Højlund's twin brothers play in Germany, which means he's familiar with the country and the football culture there. United's don't sell or keep. Manchester United find themselves in a tricky position. They spent around £64 million on Højlund less than 2 years ago, but they're reportedly willing to accept just £42 million now. That's a significant loss on their investment. Why are United willing to sell at a loss? The answer is simple: they need to balance the books and bring in players who better fit Amorim's system. Ruben Amorim wants to reunite with Victor Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon. He's also been linked with Victor Osimhen and Samu Ogahoa. But to sign new players, United need to sell existing ones first. The problem is that other players like Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, and Antony are proving difficult to move. Sancho's proposed move to Chelsea fell through, while Rashford and Antony haven't attracted serious offers. This puts extra pressure on the Højlund situation. If United can get £42 million for him, it would help fund their summer rebuild. What does Højlund really want? Publicly, Højlund has said he expects to stay at United and honor his contract, which runs until 2030. But behind the scenes, the story might be different. Transfer expert Graham Bailey believes Højlund is more open to leaving than he's letting on. The player knows he can leave, and his representatives are exploring options. This makes sense from Hodgland's perspective. He's 22 years old and should be playing regularly at this stage of his career. Sitting on the bench or struggling in a system that doesn't suit him won't help his development or his chances with the Danish national team. The striker wants to play, and he wants to score goals. If he can't do that at United, then moving on might be the smart choice. The Italian temptation. Italy has always been a great destination for strikers. The tactical sophistication of Serie A, combined with the passionate fan culture, appeals to many players. Inter Milan are reportedly leading the Italian interest, but would Hodgland fit into Simone Inzaghi's system? The Nerazzurri play with two strikers, which could suit Hodgland's style. He's at his best when he has a partner to play off, rather than being the lone striker. Juventus represent another interesting option. They're rebuilding under their new management and could offer Hodgland a central role in their project. The chance to play for one of Italy's biggest clubs might be too good to turn down. Napoli and AC Milan complete the Italian quartet showing interest. Both clubs have rich histories and could provide the platform for Hodgland to rebuild his reputation. The German alternative. Germany might be the smartest choice for Hodgland's development. The Bundesliga is perfect for young players who want to develop their games while playing at a high level. RB Leipzig have a proven track record with young strikers. They developed Timo Werner, Yusuf Poulsen, and more recently, Benjamin Sesko. Their high-intensity pressing game could suit Hodgland's athletic profile. Eintracht Frankfurt offer another appealing option. They play exciting, attacking football and have shown they can compete with Europe's best. Remember their Europa League triumph and Champions League run? The family connection to Germany shouldn't be underestimated either. Having his brothers nearby would provide emotional support during what could be a crucial period in his career. What this means for United fans. For Manchester United supporters, the Hodgland situation represents a bigger question about the club's direction. How did a £64 million signing become available for £42 million in less than 2 years? Part of the answer lies in the constant changes at the club. Different managers have different systems, and players who thrive under one coach might struggle under another. Hodgland is the latest example of this trend. But there's also a question about United's scouting and recruitment. Did they sign the right player for their needs? Or did they simply sign a promising striker without fully understanding how he'd fit into their long-term plans? The truth is probably that Hodgland is a good player who hasn't been given the right environment to succeed. Sometimes, a change of scenery is exactly what a player needs to fulfill their potential. The bigger picture. Hodgland's situation reflects the modern reality of football transfers. Players move more frequently, clubs are willing to cut their losses quicker, and finding the right fit between player and system is more important than ever. For young players especially, the pressure to succeed immediately can be overwhelming. Hodgland arrived at United with huge expectations, and when he didn't meet them instantly, the criticism started. Maybe a move away from the spotlight of Old Trafford is exactly what he needs. A chance to develop his game, build confidence, and prove his worth without the intense pressure that comes with playing for Manchester United. The summer decision. As we head into the summer transfer window, all eyes will be on Hodgland's future. Will he stay and fight for his place under Amram? Or will he take the brave step of leaving to restart his career elsewhere? The smart money is on a move away from United. The player seems ready for a new challenge, multiple clubs want him, and United need to sell to fund their own transfers. If he does leave, where will he go? Italy offers prestige and tactical development. Germany provides a perfect environment for young players to grow. The reunion with Ten Hag at Leverkusen has romantic appeal and practical benefits. Final thoughts, a career at the crossroads. Rasmus Hodgland stands at the most important crossroads of his young career. The next decision he makes could determine whether he becomes the striker everyone hoped he could be, or another cautionary tale about potential unfulfilled. At just 22, he has plenty of time to rebuild and succeed. The interest from 7 clubs shows that football experts still believe in his ability. The key is finding the right environment where he can flourish. For Manchester United fans, watching Hodgland potentially leave might be painful, especially if he goes on to succeed elsewhere. But sometimes, letting a player go is the kindest thing you can do for their career. The summer transfer window promises to be fascinating, and Hodgland's future will be one of the biggest stories to follow. Whatever happens, football fans everywhere will be watching to see if this talented young striker can find his way back to the top. One thing is certain, this isn't the end of the Rasmus Hodgland story. It might just be the beginning of a new and more successful chapter.